Thank you for believing in me. What is
Almost sounds sarcastic.
Well, I wasn't trying to be sarcastic. I was honestly with all of my heart being like, yeah, just pray for me and back me up. So, welcome everybody to the next episode of the Made in Dreams podcast. I am your host, Mighty Vicious, and I'm here with mBergs. Y'all know him. Y'all know him. The king has arrived. And my boy Jammy James. I'm not going to see, you kept complaining I kept adding stuff onto your name. So I'm going to leave it at Jammy James for now.
That's it for once.
I can't
I'm not sure if I like it anymore. I like all the extra stuff you add on now.
See, they miss you when you're gone. See, but anyway. So today we're going to jump right into it because we have a lot of things to ask mBergs. And, before we get there, I would like you to introduce yourself and tell us about you. And I'm sure you have quite the history to lay on us as far as art goes. So,
definitely.
Yes. So here we go.
I mean, I think for me, my dreams career is almost like the start of my art career, I guess. I used to do a bunch in high school and stuff, but haven't done it in a long time. So going back into dreams has been really fun because I get to flex all the muscles that I haven't been using for 1,000 years, which is good. So yeah, so I started in dreams with early access, which is roughly the same time that I jumped ship on my old career and starting a new one. So going into art school for animation, working in dreams because I want to work in games. So creating in dreams has been my sketchbook of everything I want to be doing, which has been fun. Yeah.
I would say the first thing I picked up on when looking at your work was that you have a really good eye for setting up atmosphere. And it's something that I don't see. Not that I don't see people setting up atmosphere, but you seem to have a really good eye for it. And that's the thing that stands out the most amongst all your work to me. And so really, I've really just wanted to ask you, where exactly does that come from?
I think there's three, in the world of mBergs, there's three defining moments. There's one when I was 6 or something. I played Link's Awakening on the Super Nintendo. And I remember I was at a hotel or something because my parents were on vacation and I was in the kids' daycare and they had a Super Nintendo and I played Zelda. And I remember running around Hyrule and going through that forest with all that smoke or that fog.
Yeah.
And that game made this impression on me that I was oh, I want to make these or I want to work with these. It's that was a defining moment because the atmosphere in that game was wild at the time. Because I'm kind of old. I'm a little bit old. So and then Ocarina of Time, same thing. The atmosphere in those games was so cool. And then when I was younger, I tried doing sports, didn't like it. I had to bounce around all these different places. But I ended up having a lot of fun doing community theater stuff, but less the acting and being on stage stuff and more of the production stuff. So for a couple of years when I was in high school, then a bit after high school, I did a lot of stage managing and production management for a community theater stuff. So I did set design, lighting, organizing that stuff. And now that I've been working in dreams and I've shown some of my friends who have known me for a long time, they're wow, they can see the through line from me doing theater stuff to what I do in dreams now. So those are kind of the two pillars of what I think I've discovered about myself through dreams. And then the third one is going to Disney World in high school because the way they laid out the parks with the pathways and you can see stuff in the distance and getting that sense of atmosphere. Yeah. That's stuff that I really want to capture and put inside a game, I guess, or dream stuff. So That's
And
like,
it really shows in your creations.
It really does.
oh,
So,
yeah.
what schooling do you have like outside of film? Like, did you go to art school or?
Uh, so I like finished high school and didn't do post secondary for a long time, and kind of just worked in uh, like the fashion retail industry, and I managed a couple big fashion clothing stores in Toronto.
Oh,
Um, so like again, I didn't like working in retail wasn't for me, but working with like clothing and product and like organizing layouts of stores and building collections and stuff like that was super fun for me. And then like 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago, I decided I was going to switch. So I spent a year at Sheridan in Canada, just outside of Toronto. It's like called Sheridan College. And I did their just general art program for painting and drawing and stuff like that. Um, and I applied for their animation program, which if you know animation schools, like Sheridan's a pretty popular one. So I applied to get in the first time, then I decided to switch careers and like did not get in. My portfolio sucked. I spent a year working on my portfolio, and then I applied again this winter, and I got in. So next week I'm starting like an animation program, like more traditional style. So kind of more like old school Disney or classical animation stuff, which is exciting.
Cool.
that sounds extremely exciting. Congrats. I'm happy for
Thank
you.
you, thank you.
One
I'm
of the
excited. It's been a long time.
Yeah, one of the main things that like not I wouldn't say, well, I guess I shouldn't say this at all, but it's not necessarily my the best project you've put out, but I think it's truly important, especially for the Dreams community, the art tutorial that you did.
Oh
I
yeah,
I really enjoyed that just because it it I don't know, like it hit me in a certain way. Like you were really trying to give back to the community and really explain to people that are having a rough time like me. And and like trying to
not
give an
easy. It's not
understanding
easy.
of it's an understanding of like how to sketch out what you're going for and then layering on everything
Yeah.
to completion. And I found that truly enthralling. I think it would be great to see more people do that type of thing. And
Well, like the thing that was just on the video now, there's like the like art and like the alien stuff. I've done a couple of streams where I've tried to like share stuff that I've learned and that I find helped me a lot with learning how to make like visual things. So like making like that jungle, whatever I called it, that art tutorial, because people kept asking like, oh, how do you do this and that, and like people always see the finished product. Like you play Last of Us, you only see the finished product, or you play Art Stream, you only see the finished thing, but you don't see like all the steps it took to get to that final project.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do it with that, and make like a small piece of thing, and I like saved all my steps, and then I put it together as a tutorial, just so people can kind of see a bit how I work, at least. Not that it's the right way, but it's just the way that I found worked for me. Um, and the same thing with now I'm working on my game Lost Peak.
Mm.
And I've done that pretty much entirely on stream. Like
Oh, really?
I've done maybe like an hour or two every once in a while outside of stream, but other than that, like the entire thing's been on stream um since April. So um like how I work is exactly how I work on stream. It's very slow,
Mm.
very methodical, but um it's fun for me. So yeah.
can go ahead, Jimmy.
No, you go ahead. Go on. It's fine.
Well, as far as that, Lost Peaks, can you tell me the story of that? Just because now, yeah. See, I thought you might
you
not.
took-
Be,
you- you
I
took
thought
my
you might.
question.
I thought you might not be willing to do it, but it's so like it's been like twice in the last 6 months, and never before have I used the words charming to actually describe a game. Uh, One is the one coming out for PS5, which is the Little Devils Inside or Little Devil Inside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
That one
and
looked, yeah.
and yours, Lost Peaks. Like I want to know more about that game. The first time I actually looked and came across your stream,
Yeah.
you were working on it, and I was just like, you blew my mind. This is that moment where I make people uncomfortable by fanboying over it, but please let me go. But like, you were working on animation in that and doing things that I did not know could be done. And like the seeing it actually really helped me understand a lot more than what I thought I understood in dreams. So I thank you for that. And even though you can't tell me the story, how long have you been working on that character? Like even outside of dreams?
So that character is by someone else actually. That's from the Dreamiverse. And I've been doing like animation and logic inside of it to fit my dream. But the original idea for Lost Peak, which has changed a bunch since I started on it, was just to make like months and months and months ago, because I started Lost Peak on stream in April. But like me personally started working on it probably like last December was when I had the idea. And it didn't start so much as like I want to make a really cool platformer that's X, Y, and Z. Actually, like most of my creations that I start with like a challenge for myself that's more like abstract. So like that tutorial level dream I made with the jungle was to make something like super loose. I didn't know what I wanted to make, but I wanted to make something super loose and painterly. Then I had another scene that I made called like Under the City or something like that.
It is, yes. Under the City.
And I wanted to make something with no color, no looseness, and everything. Like all the sculpts were gray, but all the color came from the lighting. So like each dream that I made, I kind of like set a little challenge for myself and try to do that. So Lost Peak was like my challenge I set for myself with that was to design like a platformer that had that cute character, where the level design kind of just kept circling back on itself. Okay. And I wanted to make it all inside of one dream because I didn't want to put any doorways.
So kind of like the From Software approach.
Yeah. And like I initially had intended it to be a bit more like open, like so you can explore a bit. But without being able to playtest that often, like people kind of just got lost. So there are like paths you can kind of diverge and explore. But it is more linear than people think it is when they play it. Because I had like Piece of Craft play it or Kelds play it. And every time they play it, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but they feel like they're lost or don't know where to go, but they're always going on the exact path I intended them to. And that was kind of my goal with that project. So
kind of helped with the title being Lost Peak.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And like initially it was called something else. But like you asked what the story was, and like when I started Lost Peak, I didn't have one because it was just like my only thing I wanted to do was make a platformer with that cute character. That had that like level design thing I was talking about. And that was it. But then people in stream would keep asking like, oh, well, like, are you going to collect anything? And I didn't think about that at first. So I put in, right now it's still a placeholder, but just a collectible. Like, oh, what's the story? And so I was like, oh, well, maybe he's rescuing someone from the top or something. And then I kind of kept building on it, which is why it's taking me like half a year to make this instead of the 1 or 2 weeks I planned.
That's what happens with dreams, though. You get an idea, you're like, yeah, I'll spend 2 or 3 weeks on this, and like, 6 months later.
Yeah, it's been a process. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
it really does.
I've got to ask the music in the trailer for Lost Peak. To me, it's not yours. Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, okay. My question was going to be, was it inspired by Tearaway? Because as soon as I heard it, I got massive Tearaway vibes. And I was like,
no, the song is by Ed. I think it's by Ed. So it's by probably the guy who did the Tearaway.
So that's
there
you go.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I am working with someone with the music possibly. Because the music is something that like I cannot do. Like audio design, I love. Music, I can like tinker with, but like writing something is way beyond my scope. So,
Jamie, did you want to take next, or do you want me to keep going?
No, I just want to say that with Lost Peak, it's so polished. It really is like really polished. The camera angles are smooth. The characters' movements really smooth. You got some nice animations going on. To be quite honest with you, if it wasn't for that Made in Dreams logo in the right hand corner, you wouldn't even know it was Made in Dreams. It's really well made.
I
Really,
agree.
really well made.
Thanks.
It is cell ready.
I mean, like, while working on it, like, because I liked, like, again, like that Zelda I talked about before, and like going to Disney World, and then like theater stuff. Like, as I'm working on the level design, I'm trying to think of like those camera angles and how I can kind of incorporate some sort of like atmosphere and stuff like that as I'm building the level. So,
but I think
tried
that's
to do that
why
all
it
together.
looks. I think that's why it looks so professional, is because you know atmosphere so well, and you seem to have a peak for level design. That it really shows in the game's design that it's been professionally made.
I mean, I feel like I'm still learning all the time. Like, if I could go back now and remake the first level of Lost Peak, I would remake it. But like, I just don't have the time. So
Yeah.
we'll see when people play it if it actually lives up to what it looks like it is. I don't know.
So, not to interject myself because I'm nowhere near your level, but another one that stood out to me was the Impact little short. And Jamie angrily can tell you that, like, I've been working on little shorts that kind of try to tell a story just in a moment, kind of like as a pitch of an idea. Was that what you were doing in things like Impact? Like, is there...
Yeah.
That's yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to holla at you then, because yeah, we got to talk on that at another time. But would you say, because I've asked this to enough people and they pretty much all come back with the same answer, but what would you say is the time spent getting to the level where you are now? Even though you may not be happy where you are now and like, I need to improve and get better, how much time would you say you've put into Dreams? Just like a rough estimate.
Oh, there's an actual number you can check. Because I don't know if you know, but if you go to indreams.me and click on any dreamer's profile, you can see exactly how many hours they've spent in Dreams. So I've probably spent like 900 hours, I think, was the last time I checked.
That sounds about right.
Like 900 and like, I think it was around like maybe 500 hours like last in the spring. I started streaming this summer, so I've been playing a lot more Dreams than I normally would. But
what level are you?
Like 120, 130. Yeah.
I'm level 22. I'm slowly climbing.
Slowly climbing. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like, because like for me, like Dreams really is just like a sketchbook. So like I streamed maybe a couple nights ago, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I'm just gonna smear paint around, and I just like sculpted a couple things, deleted it, sculpted a couple more things. So like, a lot of this stuff or time I spent in Dreams has been just that, like messing around or like seeing something that like a different dreamer has done and trying to kind of reverse engineer it. Yeah, but like a lot of like that Impact scene, I probably made it in like 3 hours and then was like happy with it and then moved on. But then like I published it. And then I would just keep going back to it, be like, okay, how can I tweak it? Like, how can I make the audio sound a bit better? How can I make the camera work a bit better? So like most of the time is probably spent also like half of it's that smearing paint and sketching, and half of it's like tweaking things to perfection.
Huh. Good. Well, we've kind of started this thing in chat where everybody's listing what their hours are.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dorian's put I'm 4,000 plus hours.
4,000? Wow.
4,000.
That's
500. Wow.
That's crazy.
Like my 999, yeah. Okay, I don't feel as
So,
bad. 600 hours.
Before I completely, hand it over to Jamie, I wanted to ask because we've talked about this before in multiple podcasts, and do you have any concerns for the future of Dreams?
Like broad strokes, no. I think it's fine. I think it's great. Actually, it's fine. It's great. The for me, I can only answer this on like a personal level, but like for me personally, the thing that like I run up against the most with Dreams is like the curation stuff, or actually, not curation because the curators are great. The like how it surfaces new content to you,
Mm-hmm.
because like I don't play Dreams as much as I do make stuff. But when I do, I like seeing the small weird creations people make. Don't care so much about Trek and what he's been up to.
Oh, jeez, can we?
And like a lot
Oh
of
boy.
Don't start with
that's it.
Trek.
That's the last thing I'm gonna say about that. But
Makes my blood boil.
so like that's the kind of stuff that I want to see less of. And like I'm sure Media Molecule is aware of this and they want to surface new stuff too. But again, like for Dreams as a whole, like that's not a bad thing because if people play Dreams and make Shreks, like they still bought a copy of Dreams.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Like if people want to do that, that's cool. But I just wish they would do it with a tag that kind of filtered it off my home screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There should be a meme section. They just put all that shit in one corner, and whoever wants to look at it can look at it and leave.
And then
it
you know
there
what? I
away
would
from
probably go
everyone
check
else.
it out every once in a while. I'd be like, I want a meme now. I haven't seen one in forever, and I'll look at some cool Trek things, and then never think of it again.
Yeah.
So, Jamie has brought this up to me multiple times because of our conversation about whether Dreams should stay on PS4 or if there should be a PC, a PC port. I guess it would be.
Yeah.
So let me ask you: would you be open, or would you like to see it happen? And there's also a follow-up question of Jamie's also been very adamant that I have no clue what Media Molecule is up to, and he seems to think that they're up to everything. So if they were to add an external device to use Dreams, what would it be? Like, would you be interested in a tablet or?
Oh, like if first of all, if Dreams were to come out on PC, they'd be like amazing. I don't think limiting a game to a specific ecosystem for the sake of it being an exclusive is like the best thing for the industry. I know people like when like Horizon got announced it's coming to PC, people were like upset. They're like, my PlayStation, but like more people get to play it. Relax. But like for me, like Dreams is so cool because it's so quick and like gestural with like the moves or with the DS4 that like a mouse and keyboard setup for Dreams like is not the way I'd want to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if it came to PC or something else and like had mouse and keyboard support in the way people want it to have, like you would be limiting what Dreams or what you could do within the system, right? Like a tablet support would be cool. I haven't thought of that actually, but like I like the moves and the DS4 setup. My only thing I'd want would be like just better moves and a better camera, like just better tracking.
So like, so kind of like a Power Glove is what you're saying.
No,
I'm just like,
don't answer
I
the
could just
question.
like reach in and grab Dreams. Yeah,
No,
that'd be cool.
just divert that question. Ignore it.
I want that like Reza like full body vibration suit from that like Reza thing, but for Dreams.
So while you're building a boulder, if it falls on you, it actually kills you. Yes.
No, see, I agree with some of your points, but I get what you mean with the whole exclusivity thing. I understand that, but I think what you're overseeing is the fact that Dreams was so quirky, and the reason why it hit the attention of everybody so much was the ability of being able to do what it can do on a PlayStation 4. I think if they initially released this on PC, it wouldn't have got the hype that it has now. Because I think their whole marketing scheme and the reason why it's done so well in regards to publicity is because, yeah, you can do all of this on the console itself without any additional hardware.
Yeah.
So for me, to move it to PC would take away what's so special about Dreams, and it's being able to give gamers without sort of a snazzy PC to be able to render the stuff, be able to create games on a system that they already own. And
Okay.
that I think that was what Media Molecule's original intention was. Let's give normal people the ability to create games with a console that they already have.
So my question to that is then is it that it's on PS4 that makes it cool, or that it's like everyday people making stuff?
Both.
Because everyday people also own like a MacBook for school or like a Chromebook, right? But don't have a PS4, or they have like an iPad. So like,
Yeah, but that's
um,
where the exclusivity side of it comes in.
but then,
You
but
know,
then,
if it's
but that's
exclusive to a console, then the people that own that console are the ones that are going to be interested in it.
yeah. But like exclusivity for me, like doesn't like obviously Sony wants to put the money in their own console, and that's fine. Like, they should invest in their own console, but like I don't think limiting like software to a ecosystem just for the sake of it is like,
Yeah, but I see where you're going with it, but it wouldn't work on Xbox anyway when you think about it. It wouldn't work. They don't have moves, they don't have all
yeah,
the motion controls that
yeah,
the DualShock 4 has. So but that's only because it was initially designed around
yeah,
that system, because from day one it was going to be an
yeah,
exclusive anyway. So
yeah.
that's the reason why the control system is what we have.
Or like,
But
what if Dreams had Vive support and you could plug in your Oculus,
damn.
like, right? Like, I'm not gonna jump ahead to a different topic, but like the power of the PC at that point like still wouldn't matter because you'd still have the same limits. But like, uh, opening up more tools to more people, which like is the ethos is right. I don't know, is the thing of Dreams, right? Getting game
Yeah.
development into more
Yeah.
people's hands.
Hmm.
So if someone with like a Mac who can plug a DS4 into it and like start sculpting or start building levels can do that on a Mac or on a PC. Especially considering like the current PS4 is not the most powerful thing by today's standards. Like new computers coming out in 2, 3, 4, 5 years
So
could. I don't know computers, so maybe Dreams won't work on a PC for some reason. But
Magma Monster said that Dreams is not special because of the hardware,
right,
and
Magma's a smart
Jovork
person.
says Wacom on Dreams doesn't make sense though. And I would like to know why that is, because my main thing, and for the reason that we bring up that which cannot be named anymore, is because I've tried to explain that like certain peripherals work better for certain people, and giving people the option is ultimately a good thing. Like I can understand someone being like, I'd rather use the moves to do this, but for me, who most of my art background is digital illustration and graphics, being able to use my Wacom tablet, I just feel like I would have better control over certain things, especially with like the touch functionality on it. So like it moves when you're magnifying and demagnifying. If I was on my tablet and I could pinch or unpinch, like I feel like it does translate over. So I do want to hear more from you, Jovork, as far as why you believe it won't work well within it. But just wanted to address what people were saying in the chat. Please, you said you didn't want to jump into another topic, but what was that topic?
Oh, like because I was saying like if it went to the PS or went onto PC and had like better hardware, like the changes in thermal limitations and stuff like that. That was the other thing. That was a can of worms. That
Which do you believe? Do you believe if they change the thermo that it would, as Jamie I believe thinks, if I'm remembering correctly, that it'll split the player base?
It would indeed.
It would, yeah. Like I don't.
I'm not
like
pure. Go ahead.
Where Dreams is right now. Like I don't think it needs. Granted, I'm not Acer or like Elka. So maybe
I
it
like
is.
how
But like,
I like how everyone, when they say I'm not like so and so, they always pick Acer.
well, because Acer does like wild logic stuff. I just make things look pretty.
Yeah.
But like I've never run into thermal limitations to the point where like I can't do the thing I want to do. Right, and like I don't know if doubling the thermo on the PS5 would like make better dreams. Sorry, I hit my mic. People would just like have higher detail sculpt, but still have Shrek memes, right? Like, they would just be really high sculpt detail
High
Shrek
def
memes,
Shrek.
right? Right, but like people are already making really cool things within the system they have within those limitations.
Mhm.
I don't think that making the thermo more is going to make things better. It'll just make more of whatever people are already making. Where like I would like to see like improvements if it was to come to PS5 or PC, whatever, it would be like frame rate. Like being able to have more lights cast at once, or like the limit in like movable objects, like things that don't affect like don't limit like back to the PS4, but like just improve the experience overall. Like 4K dreams, that would be so cool.
I'm not sure. I'm not purely convinced that, and it could be because maybe technology wise, I'm just dumb or tired. But, but I'm like outside of the resolution, which I feel like can be taken. How would you say? It can be taken into account by the person opening. Like it knows it can go up to this sort of resolution, but if the person can't view that, it'd still be able to play it, just like I can still watch 4K videos on YouTube, even though my TV that's hooked to my computer isn't 4K. So like the idea of thermo actually separating the player base seems weird to me, because it seems like yeah, the machine is playing it, but at the same time it feels like there would be enough on the back end to be like, oh well, this person doesn't have this, so downscale. Like, am I just wrong on that? I don't know.
Well, with again, I'm not a computer person either, but like I think like visual stuff, you could just do it with like less resolution. Wow, I sound like a dad. Like less resolution.
Just a less bit rate. No.
More pixels. But yeah, but if they were to like spike up the thermo to allow like I don't know, like 30% more objects in the scene, right? Then you just couldn't have some dreams run on the PS4 because the PS4 can only support so many unique objects. So like,
and that's where the limitations come in of splitting the community, and I really don't think that Media Molecule will be down for that.
No, it wouldn't be a good move.
In like 5 years when no one's playing the PS4 anymore, like sure.
For sure.
But like and also like I don't think like no one's ever looked at like a pencil and been like, "Oh, I wish I could do something else with this." Like people still do really cool stuff with a pencil, right? Like you can still do really cool stuff with dreams even though you have limitations. You just have to like work around those and find cool, inventive ways to work around them. But like you can still do most things you want to do, right?
Most like any program, really. There's workarounds and secret ways of doing stuff and figuring out how to do something it shouldn't do. That's the same of any program, really.
Like with Lost Peak, like I didn't realize before how fast Dreams loads in the next scene. And like in Lost Peak, I did the intro and I was gonna do it in like one scene. I was like, you know what? I'll just try splitting it up. And right now my intro is across 5 different scenes because like the transition is literally so fast that like I just do it like with the character walking behind a wall and like you can barely see it's there. And like if you wanted to make a big expansive world, like you would have to limit the size of the space. But like I've never felt that like my scenes can't be big enough or have enough things in it. Like the first level of Lost Peak is like way too big for its own good. And I'm still only at like 30% of like sculpt detail.
Mm.
But I've made this like something like that looks pretty polished and complete, and like I have so much more room that I could work in, or like smarter ways that I could do it. And I think that's where people just like, you have the learning from making stuff and failing, and then you can make better and cool stuff after. So I think
See,
the third one's fine.
I consider myself a line artist to because in chat they're still talking about the tablet idea, and I as a line artist, like, I'm really particular about my lines.
Yeah.
Like, super particular about them. And Dreams currently can't provide that for me. Like, I kind of have to stay away from it. And that is like, someone was saying you just have to get used to using the DS4, and it's not that bad once you do. But that's where the whole, like, that's where this whole idea was born from for me. Like, the idea of different peripherals that would come out to make it easier. Like, I don't know. Like, it's not intuitive to me. But I've seen what people can do, and it looks great. Like, what you do and what Martin does. And it's just, it looks great. But it's like, my style doesn't translate. And so I find it a little, like, I find myself longing for a different thing.
But I think like anytime, we'll say like an artist or a person switches to a different medium,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of always have to rethink what you do and apply it to that medium, and like take advantage of what it offers, and like explore something new. Like switching from like oil paint to watercolor, like they don't work at all the same way, right?
Yeah.
Just as like I imagine switching from like a real drum kit to a digital drum kit like doesn't work the same way. You have limitations in some ways, but you also have like a world of possibilities you couldn't do before, right? So like,
True.
if you're coming to Dreams saying you can't make lines the same way you do in Photoshop or in Procreate, like of course you can't. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
But Photoshop also can't draw in 3D or animate those lines, and like it's a different thing. And like there are some ways the tools like could improve, or like things I'd like to see, but like I think as a whole, like it has such a strong foundation that's like miles above what it should, like by all rights should be able to do, that like I don't think Wacom tablet support, like I have a Cintiq and I love it, but like I don't think plugging that into my PS4 would make my Dreams better. It would just make the process more like something I'm used to. But I've already obviously gotten over that hump, so I just don't care. Right.
All right. I mean, and yeah, you are right. You do have to switch up your style. Like, you learn a new style when working with different materials and or mediums. So, I mean, maybe I just need to add like 70 more hours to wherever my hours are right now, and it'll just click for me, and I'm like, that's it.
Because I got Dreams in April when it came out in early access, and then I bought Moves like a month later, and at that point I was like already pretty familiar with like the tools. But I remember getting the Moves and like being so frustrated, and I was like, man, I wasted my money buying these Moves. They don't work. Like, I'm terrible at them. Like, actually, it wasn't even like I'm terrible. It's like these are terrible. Like, they don't control well. Like, the camera's broken and blah blah blah.
Describing me right now.
and then the first thing I made with the Moves actually was that impact scene, right? So like there's a hump, and I get it, and it's like very real. But there is also with anything else you do in the world. So it just not being like something else you're used to, I don't think is a valid reason to implement like a mouse and keyboard support kind of thing. Rant over.
Hey, rant as much as you like. That's why we have you here. Like, if you have something that you really feel strongly about with Dreams, like, this is the time, because I mean, we're not huge yet, but I feel like they'll be paying attention to like all of the people, not just us, that are doing podcasts, speaking with the community, and it's from that they'll kind of get where they want to start focusing their improvements, or, quote unquote improvements to the game. And so I guess I've already kind of said what do you think of the future of Dreams, but what would you like to see added? Like, what's that thing where you're just like, I hate that they don't have this?
It's more just like quality of life stuff, right? Like for me, like playing Dreams, not creating, but playing Dreams. Like I think I was talking with someone about this recently, but like how cool it would be if like Dreams just like saved the state you were in a game. Like I was playing this like Rome city builder in Dreams last week. And I played it for like 45 minutes, but then I had to take my dog out. And I wouldn't be able to play it again like for the rest of the evening. But like I had this cool city, but like the person who made the dream didn't implement a way to like save my world state, which of course, because that would be insane for a city builder in Dreams. But like, it would be cool if Dreams just like saved the state of play you were in and just left it there until next time you came back.
No,
Obviously, that is like a wild request because
I mean, that's PS5. That's
I
PS5 though.
I have seen some logic from people now. I don't know whether it'd work in that game or not because it's a city builder, but I have seen games where they've implemented logic that allows save states.
Yeah,
which
and like
is incredible.
Yeah, like you can use variables and stuff, but like it would be cool if Dreams just did it. And I realized that's like a redonkulous request for Dreams to just like remember everything you've done in every Dream you've ever played. Yeah, and then that stuff with like create mode, like the things that like I would want, like almost kind of like break what makes Dreams so like intuitive and stuff like that. Like doing some animation stuff, there's definitely some like I wish they had more control over like how the animation stuff works. Like it'd be cool if there was like a piano roll kind of thing or a performance mode where you could see all of like the transforms of all the objects that you move around the scene and like be able to adjust them afterwards without having to go into each keyframe. Kind of like how you can do on with the music notes and stuff like that, or like being able to paint fleck types onto a sculpt, to have like multiple fleck types on a sculpt, or like be able to paint how glossy or how metallic something is onto a sculpt. But again, like all of those things I have workarounds. Like if I'm doing an object that I want to be like rusty on one bit where it's shiny somewhere and not the other place, I'll just make the sculpt one and then use paint on top of it, right? Like I've found workarounds that work honestly just as good for most things I would want. So like I don't know. I don't have a list. I don't have a list of wishes and wants.
You just make good with what you have.
Yeah.
So in chat, Joe Vork asked
ray tracing. Give me ray tracing.
Ray tracing? All right.
Yeah.
Ray trace lighting and reflections. PS5. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll have it. But Joe Vork asked, like, he knows mBergs, but he doesn't know who we are. So I guess we can take a moment to just say who we are. Well, I'm Mighty Vicious, and you're on my channel. In Dreams, I'm Bachi the Gunslave, which is a character from the script. I know it sounds weird, but it's done in the vein of the Gun-Ho Guns from Trigun. So basically, I'm just an artist who has been waiting for Dreams my whole life. This game I've been talking about before it was Dreams in past broadcast for years, because it's what I've always wanted to see in gaming. And through joining up with a digital studio, which is Lucid Nebula Studios, which is the other guy that's on the far side, that's Jamie James, we started working on a project, and it brought us closer to the Dreams community. And so we wanted to take the time to give back. And so that's why we did the podcast, was so that people could meet all of the creators from top developers as well as people who aren't as well known, and just kind of give them a platform to speak about Dreams so we could all be a better community together. So that was our goal. And that's who I am. And Jamie, if you want to explain a little bit about yourself, feel free.
Yeah, so I'm Jammy, also known as James Wilson, and I came up with Lucid Nebula Studios, which is a virtual game studio built within Dreams. So my goal was to build a team of people together to create an amazing game, because I believe that in numbers you can do a lot more than you can on your own. And for me personally, I'm absolutely rubbish at Dreams. I'm more of a player than I am a creator, but I have some really good ideas. I'm really good at directing stuff, so I just really wanted to direct a project with a story that I came up with myself. So yeah, I made Lucid Nebula Studios. We're now 8 members strong, and we're growing every day. And we're in the production of our debut game, and it's going really well. And we're looking forward to sharing some news with you this month about our mystery game that we keep mentioning.
Oh no,
So,
the
yeah.
secrets. The secrets.
Everyone has like one mystery game that they're working on but not talking about.
Yeah. And I'm sure will post some links to Lucid Nebula as well, so be sure to give us a follow. And
I
yeah,
did.
just be ready.
I already put it in chat. I'll do it again.
Cool.
But the Lucid link has everything going directly to our, the studio, and the other one is specifically my stuff. And if you get the chance, because everyone here has heard kind of what happened to me, and in a very loose way, as far as why I don't have a lot of things on the Dreamiverse. And so I recently put up a video on my YouTube from another show I do on Mondays and Wednesdays, and it tells the whole story of the data corruption issue and why I suffer almost from PTSD from Dreams, and how it broke my heart, but I'm learning to love again. And so if you get a chance, go check that out, and so people can stop referring to it as the dead roach incident. As so, if you really want to know what happened, yes, Fluffy Panda, the roach invasion. But
Please
yeah,
don't tell me that something was living inside your PS4.
No.
Please don't tell me that. I don't
No.
want to hear that.
No, it wasn't living inside my PS4. It's just something
It's
happened.
metaphorical. It's
Yes,
metaphorical.
something happened, and if you really want to know, check out the YouTube. There's a video there. It tells the whole story. You almost get to see me break down
Tear
in
up a
tears.
little.
But like I said, it is straight up trauma. Like it, and that's why I kind of don't do. You know what? Go watch the video. Anyway, so back to mBergs, because that's why we're all here. that's why any of you are even looking at us. So let's.
I mean, before we move on from Lost Peaks, I feel like we've been talking about Lost Peak now for quite a while, and there's so much more stuff that you've created that clearly needs to be talked about.
Yes.
But before we move on from Lost Peak, when can we expect to play it? Is there going to be a demo, a release date? You got to give us something.
So when I put it out, it's going to be in its entirety, and I'm never going to think about it again. But I still have a lot of work to do. I don't know. Like the problem with Lost Peak is that like the more I make one thing like polished, the more parts that aren't polished stand out. So like I said before, like initially I was like, oh, it's gonna be a fun platformer and that'll be it. But then like now it has like an intro cutscene. So if there's an intro cutscene, now we have to have like an outro cutscene, right? And like trying to justify things in the world, like just made a snowball of work for myself. So I don't want it to be a 21 thing, but I can't promise anything because again, like I'm starting a new program next week, and it's a fairly intense program. So my like Dreams time might be cut down by a lot. So
yeah. But
it's the way of life.
You'll never fully leave us behind, though.
No, right. we will see it eventually, though.
Oh, you'll see it. Yeah, I want to finish it. So, like I was supposed to start a new project with JJ and Kraft in August, and then I was like, no, I need to finish Lost Peak first. So we're working on that on the side, but that's
you gotta prioritize.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to pick up on next is not necessarily any of the games that you created, but the asset kit, Jelly Pop kit that you made.
Oh, right.
I had a look at it, and it's a really consistent, really polished, well-made kit that anybody could easily pick up and create a game with. And I just think it's really cool that people like yourself are making these asset kits, because I know Media Molecules pushed out a couple of them, but it's really nice for the community to make these type of kits. And can we expect any more from you? Is it something that you plan on doing in the future?
Yeah, so Lost Peak will be released as a kit too. So
Oh wow!
yeah, so
Oh,
all the
that's
assets
gonna
that
be
are
fun.
in Lost Peak are going to come out as a kit. Um, and so I made like that Jelly Pop kit, which was a lot of fun to make. Um, and I spent a lot of time poking around Media Molecule assets to see how they set up the logic in theirs.
Mm,
And I tried to kind of make it as consistent as I could, kind of following in like the language and the design they set up with their logic.
mm-hmm.
So like everything's labeled, it's color coded, like all the wires flow in one direction, all that stuff. So like I tried to make it as readable and as learnable as possible. Um, and yeah, like that was a fun challenge to make too, because it's not the style I normally work in. Like I like doing all the painterly stuff, and that was super tight and like cartoony, which was fun. Because I wanted to make something that was that used like as few edits as possible. So a lot of the assets are just the basic sculpt shapes. Like the platform's just a hexagon. The one that disappears is just like a rounded circle. The ground is just the the rounded cube shape. Yeah, so I just want it to be like as accessible and easy and like yeah,
Oh well,
intuitive as possible.
it's definitely accessible. I mean, the kit that you've made, someone could literally open that and just drag and drop a load of stuff together, and they've got a game.
Yeah.
And
It's fun because I see my notifications in dreams all the time is like so and so used the Jelly Pop kit thing all the time. Yeah. Or I've seen it in like I've seen a lot of my assets in like Media Molecule streams. It's like, oh, I made that thing. That's
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
So
Or like
go ahead.
I made a whale once, and it's in like the Dreams launch trailer.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Not in my dream, but it's in someone else's dream. But it's like, cool, I made that.
So, I'm sorry to jump in on this because it is kind of off topic for the moment. But when I was playing the campaign for Dreams, I didn't get all the bubbles.
Oh, I went back and I made sure I got everyone.
See, I didn't. So I wanted to make a plea. I wanted to plead with someone in the community. Can you please give what? Hey.
You've mentioned so many times, and no one's done it yet.
I never directly asked for it, so I'm gonna do that now. Can somebody please make art available to me? Can you share art?
I did. He's in 2 of my things. He's there.
Yeah, he's in 2 of the
in the lighting demo I posted. Art's in that scene, and you can just rip him out.
Yeah, see, I started doing that today, but I was like, there has to be an easier way than just deleting everything this man made. But yes, I mean, that is what I'm currently doing. Thank you. But I was just wondering, because there's like, I'm sure there's more characters, but I have like the 4 little, like, barely characters that lets everyone use, and then like the stuff from the story, because it's not a shock, and I've talked about it before. I didn't like necessarily enjoy the campaign.
Oh no! Oh my god, I loved it.
See, that's the thing. I loved it as a tech demo for what was possible, but I didn't. But yeah, that is the point. But at being a super story-driven screenwriter, guy like me, I'm focusing completely on the story. And the story, it had beats that I liked, but overall, I was like, this looks so good. Damn it! I wish the story would like God damn it! I wish this story was. And I get that wasn't the point. I get it, and I'm not trying to crap on anybody or anybody's work. As far as like, they gave me what I always wanted. So I'm not sitting there calling them out, being like, "You guys need to be better storytellers."
Blasphemy.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, it's just I just didn't overall enjoy playing through it. So
you're wrong.
okay,
So,
I mean, believe me, I'm being told this by a lot of people in chat. So yeah, I mean, I get it.
I think you're the only person that has that opinion on our stream.
And I'm okay with that. I really am. But that's the thing. It's like I liked the setup. And I really like the idea of this dude going through like the whole dynamic of the band and him going on a personal, like almost Alice in Wonderland trip, trying to overcome his own shortcomings. And it's just the sections like that was laid out. And then the sections to like get to that, the finality of the story, I felt it was disconnected. And I understand. I'm wrong. You know what? I'll go ahead and say I'm wrong. But that's just how I felt. Now, I have no problem even saying all of this. I have no problem giving Dreams a 10 out of 10. Like that's just the way I see it. Like it's just that one thing. So, it is what it is, but I just didn't get characters, and by the time I finished, I was like, I don't want to go back for bubbles. I jumped straight into creating. And there's a reason for it.
You can go to, like, if you go to Art's Dream and then look at the map of the dream, you can see scene by scene where you miss bubbles and only replay those bits. So there is a way for you to do it. And then
just stop being lazy, Will, and just play it again.
But it's not because of laziness. Like, that's what I'm trying to explain. It's not because of laziness. It's because I just did not enjoy it. Look.
Let's put it this way. Okay, you love Dreams, you love Media Molecule, and you want the assets. Just bite your own lip and just play through it one more time. Your opinion might even change on it if you go in with a more open mind this time. Just play it. It doesn't take long.
I don't know how much more open I can get. Other than saying, though I have a problem with this section, I give the game a 10 out of 10. Like I'm just not sure. Like maybe it's just me, but and like I said, I'm not.
It is just you.
Yeah, it's just me. But I'm just saying, like it's how I feel, and I feel like this is a safe space where I can talk about it.
I think the issue is you went in with the expectations of something completely different than what Media Molecule had in mind, and that's what sort of drives your opinion on it.
I can agree with
if you
that
look
completely.
At Media Molecule's past games, like I don't know where do you go into like Art's Dream expecting?
Yeah, this massive, cinematic story experience when the past games that Media Molecule have made is Little Big Planet and Tearaway,
which are lovely, amazing games.
Yeah,
and
but they're
Art's
not
Dream
exactly...
blew me away, man. So good.
I
love those. Like, it's like a 2.5 hour experience. I think. Like, I think they did an excellent job. Like, both showing off Dreams, merging 3 different styles of gameplay, 5 different styles of gameplay together.
Yeah, 5.
And a cohesive, snappy, responsive game that I don't know, when that last scene happened at the show, I was so emotional. It worked. It worked for me so well on so many different levels. It was great. Loved it. You're wrong.
Well, hey!
I'm also not a writer, so.
Hey! I already said it. I just threw it out there. I'm getting destroyed for it, but I put it out there because I'm sorry. It's how I feel, but I am not saying that's how I feel because anyone should agree with me. Yeah. If it did it for you, it could have not come out with a campaign, and I still would have given it a 10 out of 10. So, yeah, I don't know what else I can say to prove that I love everything about this, and the fact that educational gaming like this is the least used genre in gaming, and that's very sad.
I just
So-
want
Well,
now to
you-
like poke around in there and see how they did everything. Like the logic, I want to see like exactly how they like use their like graphics thermo and like where they put their assets and stuff like that. Like I've played it through a couple times, like looking and trying to like understand like, oh, like in this scene, how do they use like the floor sculpt to like save thermo, and like where do they use tiles and where do they use like big sweeping sculpts. Like I've had so much fun going back and like learning from that I want to go into edit mode and like really tear it apart. Yeah, because you can learn a lot by like looking at the assets they've put out from the prizes and then like going back and playing, because like I really wish they put out more assets from Artstream. I understand why they don't, because they kind of want to protect their thing, which is totally fine. Like that makes perfect sense. But oh yeah, no, the one thing I want Dreams to have that it doesn't have, and I've asked this on like the In Dreams forum, is a way to like go into dreams that aren't remixable and just look at them in edit mode. Like even if you can't edit anything, just be able to like go inside, look at it without
and see how it was
to play
done.
mode, just as like an educational mode. Like that would be really cool.
Oh,
And
Eddie,
I did not. Sorry.
Yeah, see, I was going to bring that up while you were talking about it as well, because I thought that was a really interesting series that she was doing. Lady Lex, for those that can't see chat or are only in the audio version. It was kind of cool to see someone try to go through and figure out everything they pulled off for the campaign. And so, yeah, that's it. Jamie.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just about to say, I don't think Media Molecule's even finished with creating their own campaigns within Dreams. I think down the line, we're going to start seeing some more serious cinematic gameplay from them. Because obviously, Artstream was just a homage to what you can do with the game. And that's exactly what it was designed for. But I think now that that's out of the way, I think there is definitely room for Media Molecule to sort of make an actual, fully fledged single storied game rather than using different gameplay elements and stuff. And in the future, I think that's something we'll definitely see.
By actual game, you mean like focus on one as opposed to doing like
focusing on 5 in one,
because like Artstream is by all accounts like a really solid.
Oh yeah, it's a solid game, but you can see that the whole intention of Artstream is to show what Dreams can do. Whereas I think they could easily make just a solid game with no intention of it being anything other than that.
Yeah,
Jamie, it's lonely on this hill. Calm down. don't come to this hill, bro.
Yeah, like I feel like each of those, like each pillar of like Artstream could have been like its own standalone. Like
yeah, absolutely. But that's what I mean. I think one day they'll come out with just a single themed game.
Do you want from Media? I guess from Media Molecule or just from Dreams in general. Do you want bigger, like quote unquote standalone games?
Yes.
Or do you want more stuff like, I don't know, I haven't played much recently. Like Please Hug Me.
No, I think they should make a fully fledged game.
Yeah.
To just be an asset of their own, to say, this is what it can do. It's a great motivation. Like, I know Artstream is amazing, and yes, it is a game, but it is what it is. This is what Dreams can do. This is the different styles you can do with it. This is the different things you can do with Dreams. Whereas if I think they made just a single game that concentrated on one singular gameplay, one singular game style, one type of art style, and just made something that's like 3 or 4 hours long.
You're on a conveyor belt. Right up to the top. Because what you're saying right now, and I may not be conveying it clearly, but what you're saying right now is exactly what I mean.
Yes, but I understand why they did with Artstream, why they did it. It was the first campaign that they created for the game. They had no choice but to make something like that because it was expected and it's what was needed. But now that's out of the way, they have the opportunity to create something else. And I think it's something that they should definitely do, and I think it's something they will do.
Yeah, I mean, like that is exciting to think about. Like for me though, like I want more short stuff, like honestly even shorter than Artstream. Like the VR stuff was super cool and is like for me the right length of content that I want from Media Molecule, because like for me, like when they put an art stream or the VR stuff, which is all remixable, which is cool, like I'll play it and then try to figure out like how they're doing it within Dreams, like how they're using sculpts, paintings, text boxes and stuff, but then also like trying to understand the like the level design or um like the lessons they're trying to teach the players while they put out those kits. Because when I like, if you look at the VR game, there's the box puzzle one, like the box maze, right? That feels like a tutorial for like how to implement gameplay mechanics, right? It's like, oh, you put them in, like, put a player in a room, you show them this one thing, that's all they can do. Once they get that one thing, they can move on to the next level, right? Then the second one, you use that again, but with a challenge, right? So like, I want to see do more like bite-sized, obviously polished, but bite-sized experiences that like teach more gameplay or video game, or even just like film or like music stuff, right? In more than just like the Welcome Home kit or the what's the other one? Ancient Times kit, right? Like something a bit more cohesive than that. Yeah, that's what I want from like Media Molecule as like hashtag content going forward. I'll make it. I'll do it.
Listen, I'll do it. I'll do it for you.
You can do it with Lost Peak.
You want Lost Peak?
Oh, yeah, just do it with Lost Peak. I mean, the hype's already there for it, so you're halfway there.
Very much so. Let's see. Art's dream would be more poetic if Art was a painter instead of a musician, but I liked it.
What? No.
No.
I like, because a lot of art stuff is generally solo, right? And like the crux of Art was that he was trying to be like the lead of a band when that's not what the band needed or his friends needed, right? Like, yeah, I'm not a writer. I don't know. It worked for me. It was great. I loved it.
This is a very touchy subject, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
I did not expect, but you know, this is the second time that I've had like the community be like, oh, hey.
And like, I think it's fair and valid to critique anything. So like, if you like, from like a writing perspective or whatever, like if you think something wasn't up to the caliber that you'd expect from less from like Media Molecule as a thing, but like if, let's say like Art Stream set out expectations for you in the first like 20 minutes with Art and his story, and then didn't deliver on those expectations by the end, I think that's like a fair critique. But if it's like an expectation you're carrying in from the outside coming in, I don't know. But I
really had no expectation. The only thing that intrigued me was the game itself.
Yeah.
The reason I'll go back to it. The reason I would still give it a 10 out of 10 is because I didn't expect a campaign at all. And the fact that they did one in itself, like show and did it in the way that y'all are saying was the purpose, which I do feel it was. I like, even though I don't like the storytelling per se of it or all the notes that it hit, I still think it was good for what it was trying to do. Just not like once you tell me it's a campaign and you set a story, then it comes into whether or not I like the story. And the story was a backseat to the tech demo.
Yeah.
And like story drives every reason that I touch most games. Like,
Sure.
Back in the day when I would play Halo, my friends played it, and all I ever saw was the multiplayer. I didn't even know it had a story. So I like that's how much people around me played the multiplayer, is that I didn't know it had a campaign until one of my friends was like, "Hey, do you want to play the campaign?" I was like, "Oh, there's a story." And that alone, like the story set up for that game was the whole reason I touched Halo to begin with.
Yeah.
So for me, that's how important story is. So when I can't, like, when a story is introduced, that's kind of like my biggest inspiration to keep going. But that's not the same with Dreams, because my inspiration was to create. So, like, you know, there's things that I can learn from Art's Dream that, you know, maybe I should replay it. Maybe y'all are smoothing me over. But but at the same time, like, that's still my summation of it. And I'm not going to say anybody did a horrible job or screw them in their game. It's like, oh, it's a letdown.
I hope not.
Yeah, like that's not at all what I'm trying to say. And I know sometimes I think it's just something in my voice that makes people think I'm like tearing things down, but I'm really not trying to. So I don't know. That's just the feel, and I'm glad that it seems that my point was getting across a little bit. To where, you know, I just who wants to do something over that they didn't really enjoy?
That's fair.
Yeah.
What do you like? I guess less from Medium Molecule, but like, what do you want to see from the community and Dreams going forward? Like, what are experiences you? Why am I asking questions? What do you like want to see?
I like that you've taken over. This is Please go ahead.
But like, what experiences do you like? You have Art Stream, you have the VR kit, you have all the kits Medium Molecule's putting out. Like, what are things you're excited to see in the Dreamiverse? Like, as players, I guess, right?
For me, it's got to be Infernal Crucible. That's my number one game that I want to see is Infernal Crucible. The trailer was so short and it just gripped me so much. I was like, yeah, I need more of this.
It was a very good trailer.
Yeah, this is insane. That's all I'm gonna say. There is nothing else. There is other games, but that's my number one spot.
Yeah.
So are we saying games or just from Dreams itself?
Like in general, like from Dreams itself. Like what? Oh no, sorry. Like Dreams people have released or content people release. Like
what I would say is it's kind of an all around tie because I'm so bewildered by all the things that people have created. Like all I really want is for the platform to survive. Like I don't want to see a time when, you know, the Dreams community dies down. Like I want to see everybody continue to blow my mind every day with clips on Twitter and showing me what is possible. And that's really it, other than the Power Glove. I just don't.
Please.
I just
please
don't. I just.
You really want the Power Glove, eh?
No. No, I can't now. He gave return. I gotta send the ball back. No, see, we've actually come up with what on the Wuxi episode. We got into it about the Power Glove. And what we've come up with, because of the other show that I mentioned before, is that the only reason he disagrees with me is because I'm old. And to me, anything that uses a tracking of your hands is in my mind
the future. It's the future.
Well, but it's in my mind it's the Power Glove, and it's simply the fact it's basically the fact that I use the term the Power Glove that bothers him, when it's just my overall summation of any type of hand control. So
it's chat, let's all go to indreams.me. Forums. Dreams Power Glove, please.
But no, like honestly, that is all I want from Dreams, is I want to continue to be blown away every day that I go on and see things. Like I might have an issue and want peripherals where I want to use, you know, my lines. But it is intriguing to see someone who doesn't have their lines, they just have the game. But they're able to create lines and things that I'm like, man, how do you do that? Like that keeps me hungry for trying to continuously improve. And as long as that is the core of dreams,
Yeah.
I really don't, I really have nothing that the game makes me want for, other than bringing back the outside uploading of media like music to dreams.
Oh yeah, that needs to come back.
Other than that, I have really nothing because I didn't get to take advantage of that while I was here. And as a person who's doing voiceovers for other people's projects,
you know, we talked about this on a bunch of shows, but like, do you miss being able to import music, or do you miss being able to like recording voice lines? I 100% get behind, but like when people talk about recording songs they've made outside of Dreams and importing those into Dreams, I kind of have like less sympathy, I guess.
I can only speak about it from the voice lines thing.
Yeah, see, the voice lines thing, I 100%.
I can definitely touch on the outside music side, because I've produced about 3 or 4 albums worth of music outside of Dreams on Logic and stuff, and it's mainly like electronic music and stuff, and not having the ability to import that in is such a shame, because it's original content that I've produced myself from scratch. So it'd be great to be able to import that and then like make a music video in Dreams around the song that I've created. And I get why it's gone because of all the copyright stuff, but
then
it's
like,
just
if the music video thing is the part you want for that, then like would like making the music video inside of Dreams and then just capturing it out and then posting it to YouTube not be...
Yeah, that is an option, but there's also the option, what if I made a game and I wanted to showcase my music in it? It's not possible.
But then I think, going back to like our conversation like half an hour ago about having something on the PC and it being about being made on the console, that kind of sidesteps that whole like foundation of Dreams, right? Like if you want to make a song in whatever software, I don't know software, but and just import that 4-minute track into Dreams and then just play it in the background of your scene, like that kind of, for me, that like goes like against what
Yeah,
Dreams is
I
about.
see that. I can definitely see.
But like as a voice actor, I get it. If you want to, like, if Bivzin wants to record like his harmonica or his like ukulele or whatever for his song, like that I also get. But like importing stuff you've already made into it, like that's like I just don't have that much sympathy for it. I understand people want to use the software differently, and that's fine, but that would be kind of just like, if I want to make a scene in Dreams, like if I was allowed to like import like a PSD file I made on my computer and then use that inside my scene, like that feels like it would be going against what the foundation of the software.
It's essentially like you're cheating.
Yeah.
I get it. I do see your point, but I would love the opportunity to import my music into Dreams so I could share it on the Dreamiverse platform. But I understand that it goes against the grain of Dreams because the actual song was not made in Dreams. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I think it's where the feature used to be there and now it's gone.
Yeah.
Is why, you know, if it wasn't there in the beginning, then it wouldn't be an issue. But the fact that it was and now it's gone, that's why.
So I don't think that was their intent when they had that in there. But
no,
like,
of course.
Would you, as a musician, like, because if I was like, for me being a musician, it would be cool to take the samples from your album that you've already made, right? And like bring in like some of the instruments you've used in that, or some of the clips, and then putting those into Dreams and then sending it out into the universe and seeing what comes back, right? Like that's, as like an artist, when I think about music stuff, like that's what kind of appeals to me about the music part of it, right?
Yeah.
So I've really been like sitting back listening to all this, and I think I might be against you on this, Jammy. Just out of the idea of everything that we've talked about, and your points about, like, it might be an indirect correlation, but the idea that Dreams shouldn't be on PC. And then I think about you wanting to add in the music, and I'm like, but that is made outside of Dreams, so that's you. That's you trying to not let it go both ways. And I mean, it wouldn't hurt me because I would love to be able to not try to send voice lines to people at like 15 seconds at a time, which can be ridiculously stupid. But which, by the way, I do want to talk to you about Impact, mBergs, because I would love to write something for just that scene, have a little short. But we're gonna talk about that. That's at another time. That's only for us, chat.
I've also been thinking about something with you for something else, but we can have a side chat somewhere else because
I love it.
I have ideas.
So, yes.
Things, yeah.
So, and yes, hello Alpha, and so next, Jamie, I just have to check in with you because I don't want to go too far, but we actually had a pick of the week.
New segment, guys. New segment.
Yes, a new segment that we're debuting, and here we go. We have the pick of the week, which I don't know why it's just gonna skip that first part, but we're looking at Core the Ice Wizard, made by ILPSR. And you'll see at the end of this little spotlight where you can find him on Twitter and everything. But Jamie reached out to me and told me about this game. And this is what I mean when I say like things that inspire me and I want to see everybody just continue to do things. I know a lot of people have probably done this, but just the old school look of this game is something I don't see much on Dreams. And I hadn't even thought about possibly making a game like this. But
yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. Like now he's gone, I think, to the middle of the second level so far, which he's still working on it, but I really like the look of this game and the things that he's pulled off. And I mean, I feel like designs like this can get lost amongst, the greats of Dreams. But I'm glad to see this.
For me, it's like cool stuff like this that almost appeals to me more than like Lost Peak is cool, but like I wouldn't want to play Lost Peak in Dreams if I was a user. If I was me and Lost Peak was put up by someone else, like I have way more fun playing cool stuff like this. That's like feels like it's breaking Dreams,
absolutely,
or like just small weird stuff that like is clearly something someone just thought of and it's kind of personal to them. Like I played this game a while ago that like by all accounts like wasn't like the best thing in the world, but it was about this like kid wanting to go visit his mom in the city. And the gameplay was just like you walking around a city street, like, but it had like a really personal story to it with like his connection with his mother, and like that is way cooler to me than like a super polished Lost Peak type thing. Like, yeah, so like
that's interesting.
I can't say the name. ALPSR. Like, I don't know. That's cool.
Yeah,
Breaking Dreams is cool.
For our audio listeners, we are showcasing a 2D side-scrolling game within Dreams. So it's nothing 3D. It's 8. Well, it's not 8-bit, but it's got that 8-bit vibe going for it. And it's just sort of a retro style game made within Dreams, and it's pretty cool. So you should definitely check it out.
Definitely. So I kind of want to keep going till we get to the part where it shows his information, just for the people who are here, to maybe get him some follows on Twitter, because we are just showing his game without really notifying him. Yeah, like it's just, I love seeing this, and I've never really wanted to make one of these games ever. Like I just never wanted to make like this 8-bit side scroller thing, but seeing this creation is kind of like, it makes you wonder, like, hey, can you do that?
It's just refreshing to see something different within Dreams.
Yeah, because I mean, when compared to the greats, you got mBergs and Martin and Pac and just all these greats, and like you see what they're able to pull off. But it like mBerg said, it's kind of like this is not it's all opinion, but seeing something like this is refreshing, and I find it extremely interesting that like you see more value in this than your own Lost Peaks, which is blowing everyone away. Like that really took me for a spin there.
It's definitely a hidden gem.
Well,
Yeah, that's the stuff I got into Dreams for. So
yeah, so here we go. Twitter Dreams PS4 Sonic Spin. So
JJ did that. JJ Novitz did that. Fortune cookie dream, like with different voices from the community. Like that stuff is super cool. Yeah, like stuff like that. I don't know. I just like that stuff. That's what I'm here for. That's what I play.
That's what I do. So, I would say, lastly, I did want to say for Jelly Pop because Jamie brought it up, but I really love the look of it. Skull Island. Oh, I love that short. Yeah. Oh my God, I loved it. Yeah. So, is there anything else that you would like to go over, or Jamie that you would like to ask about?
Lastly, I'd like to ask how your collaboration on Butterman with Piece of Craft went. Like, how was it?
Like so much fun.
Did he come to you for help, or did you reach out to him? Like, how did it all work out?
I don't remember. He probably. Let's say he came to me. That's a better narrative. He came to me, we'll say. But I remember and it was like 2 weeks ago, but in like quarantine time, that feels like a year ago. Like I have no idea. But I remember we talked about it, and he had this cool thing, and like I came into it kind of late. But I started on like the Thursday before the thing was due. Like it was closing on the Monday, and I started working on the Thursday, I think. And so over the course of like 3 days with me, we made that game together, which was like so much fun. And again, like that was a fun challenge because Craft's style and my style couldn't be further from each other. So trying to make assets. I remember the first time I worked on the assets, we were Paco and I were on a Discord call, and like I tried to make a tree, and I made it like 3 times because each time I made it, it was like way too painterly and had like way too much detail. So I kept having to like make it and start over and make it with like less cuts, less detail, more like trying to like match Pac style. Yeah, but working with Pac was like so much fun. We want to work each other more, so that was a fun collab. Definitely did not do an all-nighter to finish it. And definitely did not forget to update the dream before we published it, so it went live with an older version of the game. Yeah, there was like 6 or 7 big bugs that we had fixed that we just didn't, that we like fixed in the dream and then uploaded like an older save. Like we fixed the jump, we fixed the music not being in the second level, we fixed like the vibration on the controller being on. A bunch of the enemy placements were wrong because we had thermo issues, so we like redid how we implemented the enemies and stuff like that. And like we're still working on that game. Like I've redone some of the level design. Pac's been working on the character more, because like if I guess people wouldn't know like what we did on that. So like Pac made, or Piece of Craft made like the characters and the enemies, obviously, and then like I did like all of level design and all of the environment assets and collectible.
And you did that
collectibles.
And you did that in 3 days.
Yeah, I worked on it 3 days. The last day was probably more than a day's worth of work because it was an overnight thing. But like, I did it like the Thursday, Friday, and then I was at my partner's house for the weekend, and then it came back on the Sunday, and then we finished it.
Wow, that's a lot of work to get done in that time span.
It was a lot, yeah, but it was fun, and like we had a lot of fun, like talking about, or like trying to get everything to work together, and like Acer gave us voice lines, and like I remember in the last like hour trying to implement Acer's voice lines into the puppets, and like trying, and then realizing how big of a can of worms that was to have Acert's lines trigger at specific moments, because he gave us like such great voice for like when he picks up character or collectibles, or when he kills enemies, or when he dies. But like getting all of those to play at the right time and not play over each other
Mm.
and like do weird stuff was definitely a can of worms that I was not expecting with like an hour to go.
But that's the thing with Dreams, though. I mean, like, is the turnaround time is just so quick. I mean, look, that just as an example of what you've done, you managed to do all that in like 3+ days
Yeah,
is
yeah,
amazing how
like
quick you can actually get things out in Dreams,
yeah. The
providing
whole
you
thing
know what
was
you're
less than
doing.
5 days. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, I can't imagine you could do a turnaround as quick in something else, like in Unreal or a Maya or whatever the case may be. And I think that's what's so special about Dreams as well.
Yeah.
It's just how quick you can get things out into the world.
Yeah, this summer I started learning to use Unity, which
Oh
is like
boy.
a free game engine you can download and make games in. Like a bunch of big games are made in it.
Mm.
Like Playdead's what's that? I just forgot the name of it. Inside is a good game that's made in it. But like I've been doing that all summer, and I've made like a little platformer. I made like a galaxy shoot 'em up game, and like those took so much more work and are not as fun and don't look
Yeah.
as good and have so many bugs and like barely got off the ground. And that took like the entire summer. But in Dreams, like I can make
Wow.
something in like a weekend.
Yeah, that's crazy,
Um,
isn't it?
yeah.
I mean, that would be probably my final question for you is can you see yourself moving from Dreams to a more conventional engine to sort of branch yourself out to a much more wider audience, or would you rather just stick with Dreams?
There's like I guess like two interests to that. Like and Eddie, yeah, learning C# for Unity, yeah. Trying to program. But I think Dreams is like a sketchbook for me, like a digital kind of 3D sketchbook of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I do want to like work in the games industry, and I'm choosing to go like an animation route because
Mm-hmm.
the art side of it is more what I learned in a more traditional setting with other students, and then like on the side I've been trying to teach myself like level design and programming and layout and stuff. So I think like I'll always kind of work in Dreams. If I could work in it and make money off it, that would be great. But I am trying to learn like Unity and other stuff so I can work outside of that space and maybe work on some other stuff. Yeah. And like if other dreamers wanted to like collaborate on like an outside of Dreams project in Unity, like I would totally absolutely do that. So
Mm.
Hmm.
And I
100%.
think we're going to see a lot of that Dreams is sort of a baseline of getting yourself into the industry because it's a lot more, I would say it's a lot more easier, fun, and more collaborative than sort of Unity, Unreal,
100%.
Maya, because of just the whole community base around it. And I think
Yeah.
it's a great introduction to anything media, whether it be animation, film, game, whatever you want to do. Dreams has the ability to do it all. And I think it's an amazing tool to use as a baseline to get into the more complex stuff that is, other conventional engines. And I think we're going to see a lot of people that are making stuff on Dreams, excuse me, moving to the more conventional engines
Yeah.
because of the passion for it within Dreams.
Well, it's like I could like for someone like me who doesn't know Unity that well, like I could make something in Dreams and then as a prototype and then try to bring it over to Unity.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because like with someone who has zero programming background before I started learning Unity this summer, like every time I learned something, it was like, oh, that's basically X from Dreams. Like that's the rotator
Yes.
from Dreams.
Yeah.
That works
Yeah.
like this. And I'm like, okay, if I wanted to make this character do this collision thing, like I would do in Dreams, I can like work my brain backwards and break it down how I would do it in Dreams, and then like Google stuff on the internet and find how to do it. And like obviously the programming and stuff is something I'm learning, but like the thinking behind how to approach something in a program like Unity like is already there because of working with Dreams. Like that's totally transferable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, we are going to go ahead and end today's show. Thank you to everyone who's come through and consistently pumped us up. It's been extravagant to see just how many people are coming through to this show, and we do want to thank all of you. As Jamie said earlier, as far as our project, we do hope to have something out to you by the end of the month. So we'll keep looking at that, see how that
Cannot
goes.
wait. Cannot wait.
And can I just say before we go, just a massive thank you to everyone that's been supporting the podcast. We did a tweet not so long ago just mentioning sort of the countries that are actually listening, but we've been looking at the analytical data for it, and we have listeners in the USA, the UK, Ireland, Sweden, Malaysia, Canada, Germany, Spain, Ecuador, and Poland. And that is just absolutely mind-blowing for us that so many people from so many different countries are tuning in every week to listen to our show, and we just want to thank you for it. It's amazing.
So with that, like I said, I'm going to send you over to, I always mess up the way he says his name, but Kelby Jones?
Kelbiones.
Kelbiones.
Biones.
Kelbiones.
The silent J.
See, that's what I'm talking about. And as far JJ, you passed the cool test. You can be a guest. All you have to do is get on our Discord, and we'll schedule you. And that goes for anybody that's in chat, because we're not, like I said, we're not just trying to interview the people that everyone looks up to. We want to talk to everyone. We're all fans. We're all fans of everybody. So all you have to do is get on the Discord and ask, and the I'll actually make sure to show. Well, I'll send you the link if you can't find it in the Lucid information that I just put up.
And if you have any issues, just pop us a message on Twitter, and we'll get you in.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. JJ Novitz definitely one to look out for.
So we'll go ahead and trigger. I hope everybody goes over and shows love, and let them know that we're on to him. No, I'm just we're on to him. We know. So yeah. And once again, mBergs, thank you for joining us. You are welcome to back anytime you want to come back as things develop.
I'll come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have more projects. I have more stuff I'm working on.
Hey.
There'll be more to talk about eventually.
Definitely. That's wrong. Wait, Raceland's from Mercury? And anyway, so let's go. There's a lot going on in chat right now. I kind of don't want to leave, but it is time. So thank you to everybody once again, and we'll catch you again next Friday. Don't forget, I also do a talk show talking about games and television and movies Monday and Wednesday, same time as this starts. And I'll catch you later. You got anything else, Jimmy?
No, that's good. I'm good to go. Good to go.